You can hear my baby is crying. She wanted to come down with me. Anyway, I wanted to share with you three updates of UAE. For those of you who are interested, yeah, you know, I try to get information that is not available in the papers. So if you know anything, do share it with me, okay? And I'll keep your identity confidential. Now, with regards to NMC, BR Shetty's company, a lot of employees are still not being paid for a couple of months now. I still keep getting messages here and there, not being paid for 3 months. Some people don't know what to do. We're running from pillar to post. Some of them are without a visa. Some of them are afraid. So the standard advice I give to them is contact your consulate, contact a lawyer, because you checking on google.com or asking other people, it's not going to help you. You need to take proper legal advice and get a solution for it. Simply, it's like having a toothache. Ignoring it, you might forget about it, but it's only going to get worse. And then the pain becomes so unbearable that you'll be like, oh man, please break that tooth off. So that is number one, where whatever problem you're facing, that's the solution I would suggest. Check with your consulate, check with a lawyer recommended by your consulate, because otherwise you go to anybody else, maybe they will misguide you, or maybe they will try to take advantage of your helplessness or weakness. And one very important thing here is sitting down and doing nothing, hoping and praying is not a solution, it's not a strategy. Stop asking people, help me. Nobody gives a damn. You need to find a solution, you need to figure out a solution. Okay, that's number one. The first thing. The second one is with regards to projects. Okay, now we are talking of projects in the UAE. If you notice in the papers, they are coming out with, they're going to have a monorail, they're going to have a hyperloop, they're going to have an underground something, they're going to have space, and they're going to have this and that, and all big futuristic things. Okay, the reason being is you cannot, how many more buildings will they build? How many more projects will they create? How many more cities will they announce? How many more infrastructure projects will they keep developing? The fact of the matter is, without a population, all this is useless, right? You build a, let's say, 12-lane road, but there's no traffic. There's hardly any people. So what is the point? You create buildings after buildings. Say you create 100 buildings, but only 10 are filled up. Rest all of them are either empty, or what sense does it make? And the wear and tear is going to be there, right? And none of these projects do those people put down payment cash full. They always trickle it down, and they hype it up by selling, okay, we're going to give it to you at an amazing discount, and just put 1% or 10% or put $1,000 and book the apartment. People who do this are just doing to flip, buy and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell. Same thing is happening with the cryptos. It's not a sustainable long-term lifestyle. It's just quick cash. So that doesn't help the country. So with regards to these projects, the reason why they're announcing is so that there's something to do, there's something to look forward to, there's something to sell, because you can't just sit at home and do nothing. So the country has to think of something. Now, unless this COVID situation gets resolved, the world is still paralyzed with fear, because they do not have the money or the resources to start, see what is happening in India. The number of sick in the hospitals, and without oxygen, and it's a terrible situation. Okay, then I don't mind. You're going to hear the person who's selling with their car, loud volume. Let them pass by. So once they pass by, then I'll continue. Okay. Next one after this is so let me finish this. So it's not that there are no projects. UAE, if it cannot develop projects within the country, they will seek projects outside the country. The only benefit of doing within the country is you can get away with a lot of nonsense. You can play with the loopholes, you can play with the payments. But when you start accepting projects in another country, there are laws to be followed. And obviously, all the challenges that come. You need to pay people under the table and, bribe officials. And so it's harder to set up in a new country. But anyway, there are projects and people are getting jobs. The only thing is, how do you position yourself, which I've constantly been telling you. Okay, then another update that I want to give you is people who are rebranding their resumes, changing. Let's say, for example, you're a cabin crew purser or you're a travel agent. Now, obviously, your experience will not get you a job anywhere, especially when the travel market is down or tourism market is down. So people are opting to rebrand. Now, when you rebrand your profile to seek other kind of jobs, let's say you're looking into sales, you're looking in marketing, you're looking into HR, you're looking at accounts. From the travel industry, you're moving into retail. Or you need to highlight the value you can offer the company. I think that is a bigger challenge. And another thing which you need to keep in mind is, given the fact that you're devoid of experience, you cannot ask what someone who has many years of experience in that particular sector asks. Let's say, for example, I'm just giving a random, you've been a gym coach. You've been teaching people bodybuilding or exercise or fitness. Now gyms closed down. And now you want to move into getting a job somewhere. So you're applying for something customer service or you're applying for sales. Now, given the fact that you're in a gym, you're teaching exercise, you can't get a job as a bodybuilder anywhere or a gym fitness trainer. So obviously, you can translate that into customer service. Now, customer service, if there is a guy who's junior and then there is a guy who is at the intermediate level or senior level, let's say junior guy takes $1,000, intermediate 1,500, and senior 3,000. Okay, you can't just because you're a senior in your industry, you can't ask for $3,000. I'm just giving an example. And obviously it doesn't make sense you asking for 1,000 because that is a junior. So you can hit somewhere in the mid-range. This is one of the ways I've been helping people in terms of rebranding their resume. Now, helping, please don't send me messages, please help me, please help me. I don't do for free. Provide a professional service. I still get messages, help me, help me, help me. I'm not here for charity, man. Then another question that one of my clients asked me was, Lloyd, what about qualification courses? Let's say, okay, what if I get a project management, PMP or chartered accountancy advanced level certification or MBA or okay. Now, whatever certification you want to take, see the problem here is if you ask the institute, they would give you all hype and tell you, oh, 100% it's going to help you, and they'll give you success stories. But the reality is what the market wants. Keep in mind, as it is, there are enough and more people with MBAs. There are enough and more people with degrees. There are enough and more people with masters and PhDs and big certifications. So if a company was looking at a certification in particular, okay, we want an MBA. If they put an ad, they'll get thousands of people with MBAs. Now, where does this specific requirement come? is when there's an internal vacancy. Let's say, for example, there is, I'm just giving a random example. Let's say Microsoft, just taking, or Al-Futtaim. Okay, they have a vacancy for a senior manager, and the HR department has been issued the memo that whomso applies for this senior manager role has to have a master's degree, okay, from a reputed university. Now, if you have been working in the company, there's an internal vacancy, and you have many years experience. Now, obviously, you'd like to take advantage of this. But now, given the fact that if you don't have a master's, you can't apply. So by default, you'll be rejected because it's like an entry ticket. Now, the only exception to this rule is if a senior manager, very senior at the higher management, he can put in a word and say, listen, I know this guy. This master's degree, let's waive off and make an exception for him because his performance speaks. In that case, they will not make the master's mandatory. But most of the HR people who issue this vacancy or advertise it, they are lower level people. They'll just follow whatever is told to them. They'll just follow. They'll not have any authority to, okay, this guy he has a skill, I might as well recommend to the management. They don't want to do that. They just care about their own job. Then what I suggest is, if you want to go for a degree, the best example I can give you is ask your immediate boss, ask your employer. Now, don't ask him that if I get a degree, if I get a master's, or if I get a course, will it help me? By default, he will tell you, yeah, he'll help you. Go ahead, take it. No, that's not what you should ask him, because that's a stupid question. If I take a degree, will it help me? If I get a master's, of course it'll help at some point. What you need to ask him is, sir, if I get this master's degree, will I get a promotion? Will I get a salary increase? Will I get more responsibilities immediately? I can assure you, he'll tell you, see, if you get, it's good, but we can't assure you a job or we can't promise you anything. So that clearly shows, unless there's a vacancy, no matter you get a PhD also, if there's no vacancy, they'll not give it to you. So what is the solution here? The solution here is you need to network outside your company. You need to meet people. And when you network, please don't do this mistake. Can you give me a business card, or you give your card? That is not networking. That is stupidity. Networking is when you meet someone, immediately have a meeting, and not only have a meeting, have a planned conversation. You should know exactly what you're going to say within the first 3 to 5 minutes. You should hit the nail on the head. Don't start with, hi, how are you? Nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. Don't waste your time with all that shit. Straight away ask a question that you need to ask. I wanted to inquire with regards to so-and-so position. Because I do know of a value added. You need to give them something of value. Because you say, is there any vacancy? They'll say, no, there's no vacancy. Like when I used to go and approach companies, I used to never say, do you have a vacancy? Do you have a job? Because of my appearance. Rather as to propose ideas, value added suggestions. And then the owner or the senior guys say, come, why don't you come down for a meeting? So as to create those opportunities. That is what you need to do in UAE right now. Create those value added opportunities. And for that, obviously, you need to know how to talk. And yes, once people open the door for you and give you an opportunity, make sure you have everything in place, from your profile to your interview skills. Just be absolutely ready. Don't at the last minute, like so many of them sometimes come to me last minute. Oh, lawyer, I have a meeting, or they ask me for a resume tomorrow. Oh, you need to be prepared, boss. Anyway, what I want to tell you is the situation is better than what it was before. Before anyway it was zero, so anything better than zero is an improvement. However, the road to recovery is going to be long. And as the market is opening up, new jobs are coming up. Plenty of people are applying for jobs, plenty. But end of the day, remember what I told you. it's like there are so many, for example, laptops, so many laptops which are selling. You'll only go for the laptop that gives you the best value for money or the maximum extras or freebies, or because you'll compare. In a day of google.com, so much of information is available to you, you can make an informed decision. So in the same way, the employer, when he asks for CVs, when he gets so many, he will choose the best, right? So position yourself in a way that attracts the owner to say, let's call this guy for an interview, let's at least talk to him. That is your first step, and that will mark your success. Anyway, if you have any information that I need to know, feel free to send it across. I'll keep your details confidential. Alright? Having said that, you guys take care.